We're here with the cast of the new Prime Video series, A League of Their Own.
I don't know anything about the game, so I think it would be prudent for one of you to step in.
Step in as coach? There has to be a man somewhere. The man who runs the scoreboard.
All right, we're not going to listen to the scoreboard guy. It should be Greta. She's already leading us.
Yes, I second that. And she's very tall. You can see her from anywhere.
Fine then, Miss Gill. Your team needs you.
Hey, it's Jim Halterman from TV Guide Magazine and TV Insider. Abby, my first question is for you. What does Carson go through in the course of the first season as far as how much she changes? Because not being around all these women changed her, but also just playing baseball. She's married. Can you talk about just her journey in the season?
Yeah, so Carson starts off the show. She's married. She's from kind of a small town in Idaho, a little bit sheltered, and she's been with her husband for a long time. And we sort of start, she kicks off into this, like, she's running away from kind of everything she's known to go play baseball, which she loves. And through that sport, the league she ends up getting on, she really, her world is kind of like cracked open a little, and she realizes a lot about herself, including her sexuality. And I think through her finding her queerness and owning herself, who she is, she really finds her confidence. And her arc of the season, I think, is partially really becoming this unlikely leader for that team and finding her queer community, which really includes Chanté's character, Max. And yeah, I think there's a lot of transformation.
Okay, and Chanté, with Max, she has a hard time even just getting on the field in the beginning. Because she's fighting a lot of different things the other girls are not. Can you talk about what keeps her going? Why she doesn't just say, I'm not doing this. Instead, she pushes through.
Yeah, I think it's her love and her passion for the sport, and also the support that she has around her, whether it's from her father or her best friend. And yeah, her dedication and her drive is just, she feels like she has a purpose and she's meant to be on that field and she's meant to play baseball. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter that, the Peaches didn't want her. She's gonna go and look for the next team. Within the matter of hours, we see her make the decision to be like, okay, well, maybe I can go play in California. And then we're like, no, maybe not. Okay, well, then maybe I can go play at the factory. Like, she's going to keep going because baseball is her dream and she'll do anything to get it.
Now, for both of you, what was more nerve-wracking, remembering lines or being able to play baseball on camera and do it convincingly? Because everybody does.
Well, I don't have to play baseball on camera for every job. I do have to memorize lines. So I would go with the baseball.
Yeah, me too. I also felt like there is such a responsibility of like making that feel authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like such a new part of this. Yeah, I never had to do that before.
Yeah.
And so it was like, let's really do our best to make the baseball feel real.
I love that you got Rosie O'Donnell on the show, Abby. That's such a good thing with the movie and everything, the connection there. Can you talk about her character a little bit, as much as you can? I know she comes in a little later in the season.
Yeah, I don't want to, without spoiling anything, Rosie, it felt so special to have her on the show. Like we didn't want to do a lot of cameos to really differentiate from the film, but Rosie is an important part of like queer American history, and we felt very connected to that character from the film, and she's playing such a different character in the show that it felt really right. And so she plays Vi, who's owns a bar in town in Rockford, and becomes sort of like a really important character in Carson's arc. And yeah, like Rosie came in and had a lot of, like, she collaborated on exactly how she wanted to look, and she was really excited to do it, which felt like a blessing for the show. I was like very excited. She was like into it. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I like about the show is that there's a lot of laughs, but there's also some really great drama. Abby, did you and Will have to really navigate that closely, or was it more organic? Like as you were just coming up with the stories, it lent itself to both sides?
I think it was like it took a lot of massaging, because it's this tightrope walk of comedy and drama. Cause like oftentimes we're in a very intense, dramatic moment, and it takes like a quick turn into a joke, and you have to be able to ground whatever scene you're in to be able to play both. And so we always wanted that tone and wanted to balance it, but it could be a little tricky at times to make sure both were hitting hard enough.
I really loved Greta.
Cool.
And I have to tell you, from the start, she seems so self-possessed. And I'm
Mhm.
curious if we'll find out how she got to that point, because I'm guessing she wasn't born that way. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I do think, I think the sort of confidence and self-possessed and like being so sure-footed and cool is definitely, I wouldn't say like a full facade, but it is like learned behavior. She's kind of learned that that's like, Greta knows how to like get what she wants and how to get things done. And that's a good way to do that. And as the season goes on, I think we get to peel it back a little bit and see what maybe that's covering up or hiding, or how that she's being like there's a word there,
Self-preserved.
Yeah, maybe.
Self-preservation.
Yeah. Yeah, she's she has to like protect herself, and that's a good way to do it.
And obviously she also has a lot to teach Carson, who's going through a lot of changes in her life.
Yeah.
What could Greta learn from Carson? Because I feel like there might be a two-way street there.
For sure. Yeah, I think that Carson's vulnerability and innocence and she's like coming into this new world in many different ways, sort of like with her heart on her sleeve. And Greta is a little bit like a grizzled old man at this point. She's seen it all. She's been everywhere. She's done it all. And, Carson sort of shakes her world up in a little bit. And I think it reminds Greta of, what it was like to sort of be a young queer woman, like figuring herself out and trying to like navigate what this life is. And she's really learned how to do it, and she has her rules and she sticks to them. And Carson sort of shakes that up.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
You sign on to a show to play baseball. Probably sounded like a lot of fun. Once you actually got into it and had to do it and do it convincingly, how did you do?
Oh, I was so thrilled by the baseball from the like my only complaint about the baseball, and ultimately is not even a complaint, is we shot in Pittsburgh in the summertime, and oh boy, is it hot and sweaty there. But that I honestly think like added to the grimy grit of it all, and like, made us feel like we were really doing it. But I played baseball as a kid, and I played baseball through high school, and it was definitely one of my favorite sports. And it really, it's one of the main things I love about the movie, that these women, as a kid watching it, it really felt like they were really good at baseball and really loved baseball. And we tried our hardest to, all the actors and our coaches and all these professional baseball women that we were training with, everybody sort of had the same goal, which was just to make it look as real as possible. So the baseball days were so fun. They were so long and hard, but so fun. We were all always looking forward to the baseball days.
Click the subscribe button under this video and watch A League of Their Own on Prime Video starting August 12th.